Alrighty then, I think we are live back here to make a difference and be awesome. So, today I will start not with the worksheet as we do normally, but sorry, we are live back here to quick audio problem. So, today I will there we go. I had something running in the background, had my own stream running in the background. So, we won't start with the worksheet, but today we will actually, I want to do the experiment of starting with what I wrote down to those questions. What do I believe about this category? What exactly do I want, or what is my highest vision for this category? And what exactly do I need to get there, as well as why do I want that? Those 4 questions answered from me. After that, we will dive into the worksheet. We will figure out your own answers and a little bit more. As you know, how is your intellectual life right now? What do you believe about this category? And I will give you timers so you can do it during this live stream or during this video when you watch it afterwards. And finally, we will end maybe discussing the steps even closer, particularly the meta skills, and maybe I will recommend some books or some videos. And yeah, let's dive into it. I know you could read it for yourself, but I want you to I want you to listen, because while I'm reading those things, I will always reflect on what I'm also reading at the same time, and you will feel maybe a little bit more of the emotion that is behind it for me personally. That's why I always like to read it out loud. And I will discuss it. So let's dive into it. Let's put on my blue filtering glasses. Don't I look super intelligent and like a porno star at the same time? Sorry. My intellect is a tool to learn from experience, mine and others. Others' experience is super valuable. I love learning from other experiences. That's why I read, or that's why I listen to so many books. I love to listen to books because it's net time, no extra time, so I can do it on my way to to uni or while working out. While working out, I listen to an audiobook today, and that's how I read a book every 2 to 3 days right now, honestly, because I just love it. And I'm learning from the experience of others. I'm really good at that, and I feel like that is one of my strengths. My mother always said, like, you just have to watch someone do something, jump over like while skiing, and then you just do the same thing and it works. And I was so fascinated that I can actually learn from other people's life experience. That's so powerful. So, and that's what your intellect is for me. Solve problems. So, an intellect is always solving problems. All our thinking is really always, hey, there's a problem or there's a question, and then there is an answer to that question. But in intellect, there is slow thinking and fast thinking, and I feel like thinking is like more intuition based, more gut feeling, and you can actually train that, and you can train your intuition through your intellect. So I guess it's even also there a little bit for those, but more so for the slow thinking process. And solving problems is one big thing. Secondly, create plans and make great decisions that shape your destiny. Meaning, when you are at a learning point, as we discussed in the video where we reflected on principles, we always have that moment where we fall down or we crash, and then we need to develop. Then we are faced with a problem, with something that is holding us back, and there we have to solve that problem and create a plan to get out of that problem, create a new principle in order to make great decisions in the future that will finally shape our destiny, because it's our decisions that shape where we will end up at some point. And the better you are at this, the more beautiful can and the more aligned your principles and your decision makings is, the more beautiful and the happier you will be at your destiny. Kind of. Yeah, think about it. That's why it's the foundation of creating an extraordinary life. You see? I don't think your intellect should be something you just do at uni or you just do at school. Your intellect is something that creates a foundation for life. Your intellect is there to figure out the steps, and then your body is there, and your body, your emotions, everything else is there to put it into action. But your intellect is something practical, not something you use to have formal conversations. Your intellect is much deeper and you can use it. You can use your mind. Your mind can be a great tool. Your mind is not your enemy. Even though it's super important to be able to let go of everything. To be able to get in control of your mind so you can use it as a tool, not something that shirks you around through life. Alright, what do I want in that category? Let's dive into it. Let's dive into my highest vision. I know every time I do this, I feel like I shouldn't be reading this out loud in the internet. This is really just there for you to give you an idea or an inspiration and allow you to think bigger for yourself later when we are doing this exercise. And I really like doing it up front instead of at the end. Because it already gets me into a flow and gets me into that state where I'm at, and then I can transfer that state better to you, so you can do your exercise better, and it can give you an example of how grandiose you are allowed to think at that moment and not feel bad about it. And you don't have to share it with anyone, and maybe you shouldn't. I'm just doing it because I feel like it's of value. Alright, I want to be a master of my mind, an innovator and inventor, author and philosopher. I want to teach and shape young human beings into the greatest version of themselves and help them gain and create the life they love. So I have to be an intellectual powerhouse. I want to be able to easily memorize and powerfully recite any speech, poem, fact and quote to impact my kids, coachees more easily. I want to be able to solve problems in hundreds of different ways effectively and be able to teach that kind of thinking. I want to be able to teach thinking, ways of thinking. I think most people just teach facts, but I want to teach how to think, which is a meta skill that which we will talk later on. Also, the way of easily memorizing and solving problems. Of course, those are all meta skills, amazingly important meta skills. All right, how do I scroll down? Where's my mouse? I always see it. Just there we go. I want to be able to solve problems in hundreds of different ways effectively and be able to teach this kind of thinking. I want to be able to understand the development of human beings and what it takes to take it from average to outstanding. All right. What this is means something to me because for one, I love learning about the development of kids and as particularly positive psychology, because I'm not interested in helping people to fit into average society. That's why I don't necessarily want to work with sick people. I'm not opposed to working with sick people, but I'm opposed to the way of treating them currently to help them fit into a sick society. I'm not there to help them fit into a sick society. If I work with mentally sick people, which I'm not sure if I will ever do, but if this is going to happen, I want to help them actually transcend society and go to the next level without having to first fit in. This is quite controversial, and there are a lot of theories and ideas why this is dumb. So that's why I am not looking to work with mentally sick people, even though it's a hard topic. Also, Of course, anything and any vision can change. This is just me giving me something right now to work towards, some idea, and it's about the emotion that this creates in me, and the idea and the inspiration, the inspirare, the life it breathes into this category for me, and where I imagine myself and I become nerded out, and I love nerding out because I know where I want to go right now, but this can change. And as you can see, right now it's motivated by wanting to become like someone that helps people to create a life they love. All right. Particularly younger people right now. I'm thinking of helping boys, if like teenage boys between 13 to 19, like teen ages. Where were we? I want to be able to comprehend. Takes it from average to outstanding. Also, outstanding is like you can do something amazingly well. You can be, you can be amazing at it. But outstanding is like doing that little bit more. It's doing from 100 push-ups, you do 101. It's like there's one. It's that millisecond of a runner that is just a little bit faster. That is when you're outstanding, and that's where all the results are at. And it's just like from average to amazing, it's like this big. But then from amazing to outstanding, it's this big of a difference, like a millimeter. But this millimeter is where all the results are at. That's something I also learned from Tony, my bro, in my childhood, and my mentor, my first mentor, kind of. And yeah, that's why this word is so important in this sentence. Outstanding. I want to be able to comprehend how life and how the world and the universe works. Boom. I want to always keep the agile ability to think so I can hold my own when working with younger kids, because I know how freaking smart you are, how much genius is in you, and I just want to be able to keep up with you and understand you. That's why I have to be a master at this. Because then I can actually talk to you and understand you. I know how amazing kids are. Honestly, even when I'm much older, I want to be the mastermind of masterminds. I want my genius that we all have. This genius is like this idea of a beingness that is a genius that flows through you. It comes from the Greeks. It's a really cool idea, and it's also the idea that it's like something you can call upon to flow through you. And I want that idea, that archetypal energy in me unleashed. Got it? Got it. All right. Let's dive into my why. And you can use this as an inspiration, and you can already think about, maybe this has put you into an idea, and now you can think about what would be for you your highest vision already, and you could tap into that. Oh, I like doing it in front of it. And it gives you also what you will have after this video. Why do I want that? First of all, I just love teaching and learning. I believe our capacity to think and solve problems is what differentiates us from animals, and is our greatest tool to shape our destiny consciously. Booyah! Okay. I believe our capacity to think and solve problems is what differentiates us from animals. That is a statement. Think about it. We can solve problems on a higher level, on a more meta level than most animals can, even in a different time, meaning we can future project while solving problems. I wouldn't say that animals can't think and solve problems, to be honest. This isn't quite correct, because they can, especially more conscious animals. But most animals, like every animal, solves problems, honestly. And what I really meant is solving meta problems and solving problems in a higher level future project, and then reverse engineer solutions in order to solve um, higher level problems on an even on an individual level. Make sense? I hope so. Of course, most people would say maybe that art differentiates us from animals. Um, this question is for me so intriguing because I'm never sure if, um, like, we are animals. We are animals, but at the same time, if we are animals, for one, oh man, there are so many things to come up. Like, our whole moral system is wrong if we see ourselves as animals. So, if you want, you can just strike this sentence. But it is our greatest tool to shape our destiny consciously, meaning you can become the driver and the, as Simone said in her interview, in my interview with her, said you become the writer of your story by using your intellect as well. You're learning about every culture and understanding. Oh man, there was this amazing argument about animals and human beings, and I loved putting people into like a moral dilemma with that thinking, but I don't remember it anymore right now. I really need to step up my memorization techniques and my long-term memorization, particularly with that one. All right, but if I remember it, I will tell you. Uh, Learning about every culture and understanding the world, universe, and human beings is my duty. Every culture that I do that to get context. The more context you have for any interaction, the more you can understand the other person, and um, all of this is all in order for me to be able to understand other human beings. Because in this knowledge and understanding, I will find the keys to the breakthroughs to actually solving my own as well as other people's problems. And one of the things I love to do is just adding value to people's life, because I think the more value I can add to people's lives, and the more problems I can solve for you, the more problems will be also solved in my world. That's just a theory of mine. And yeah, I just like doing it. It is the key to the magnificent life I desire. Well, that's a good reason. And I will understand. You feel like there is this thing going on about understanding others better, and therefore will be able to better help them. A life of freedom, of servitude, and of love. Because it provides the framework to creating the breakthroughs for humanity and for individuals. Also, it's just a joy, and it shows my appreciation for everything and everyone around me. This curiosity. I feel like my curiosity is truly me appreciating the world and going through it with that sense of wonder and amazement and my unending desire to understand this beauty. And it doesn't go away. I don't feel like just because I understand what is behind the weirdness of the world, the beauty doesn't go away. It just becomes like this amazing art, this craft. Instead of, like, when I learned how magic tricks were done, I didn't get less excited about them and less in awe of them. I just got in awe of the craft behind it, the work that was put into it. It became a piece of art more than just a moment of awe. And I feel like that's what this is about. All right. So, how do I get there? That is a good question, Momo. Let's see what I wrote down when I wrote this in the summer. Well, first off, master meta skills, meaning learn how to learn. There you can dive deep into mnemo-techniques. One great book, I'm already diving into books, I guess, is Moonwalking with Einstein. Then, how to build a beautiful... I actually got this from 50 Classics, you can see here. How to make a beautiful mind. That's more about lateral thinking, actually. But wait, I can show you. Category, learning methods. Here, you can just go in and go research all kinds of different learning methods, and you can then just dive into each category, research books, dive deeper into it, and master that meta skill of learning how to learn, because it's like a genie where you can ask, hey, if you want to learn any skill, what skill would you want to learn? Well, I would like to learn the skill of learning. It's like wishing for more wishes, you see? And particularly speed learning, or also, which is more of a category underneath that, is speed reading. And I think the world champion in speed reading is Howard Berg. Berg speed reading. This guy. He is in the Guinness World Records books, and he has double your reading. .com, I think. Yeah, double your reading. And there, well, it looks kind of scammy, but I actually got this program. And you just pay $100, and if you don't double your reading speed, you can easily get the money back. So just go do it, and if you don't want to pay or don't have the money or don't double your reading speed, you can get the money back. It's pretty fair in my opinion. Doubling your reading speed is pretty powerful. So do that, for instance. Number 3, organizational skills. There you could dive into Getting Things Done by David Allen. There you see David Allen. Or you could dive into Time of Your Life by Tony Robbins. Or any other productivity or organizational. Like Getting Things Done is very much about organization. Oh, of course. There is this great book or audiobook. I often do everything in audiobook version. There is even a show about the magic of cleaning up. Cleaning up. There's this woman called, what is she called? Magic Cleaning, this one. Marie Kondo. She has a Netflix show, and this book, Magic Cleaning, it's really good. I recommend it, and it helped me become much more minimalistic. You should also go and dive into not just minimalism, but also digital minimalism, particularly, which is also from the same guy who wrote Deep Work, which is another meta skill, working or self-discipline. So I guess I'm diving into books, but digital minimalism is great, as well as his book Deep Work. Boom, you gotta read Deep Work, and this one is also good, particularly for organization in your mind, because organization is out here, and out here affects your mind. For that one, I would recommend the magic of cleaning up, and then in here, Getting Things Done, Time of Your Life, and this program that you're doing right now, and Deep Work / digital minimalism. And then self-discipline, you can uh, you can dive into, for instance, deep work, choosing a focused life in a distracted world, or distracting ourselves to death. Because I think part of self-discipline is learning how to be bored again. I never expected me to say that, because I was always very much against boredom, because my father was such a fan of that. But now I realize, well, my father was right. Boredom is really, really freaking valuable, and I need to learn it as well. And I'm in the process of learning it, and it's hard. It's a hard skill, but it is a skill. Self-discipline, working, even loving, those are skills. Um, the art of loving, the art of love is also a meta skill, I guess. But there are also great books on self-discipline and so on. From the great courses, there's an amazing audiobook that I'm also listening to, which is called How to Outsmart Your Brain, which is perfect for self-discipline, and it talks about every technique based on effective literature and studies and so on, in order to develop self-discipline. Honestly, truly, truly great. I just listened to it 2 days ago and finished it. Yeah, so read at least a book a week. For instance, to find out which books to read, go and read the 50 Classics series. There is an ebook out there, and if you're clever, you can find it. But there is just a series of Tom Butler Bowden, and it's so good. It's basically, look here, you can see 50 psychology classics. That's what I'm listening to. Yeah, there are also audiobooks for this. I got psychology, philosophy, success, I think spiritual, but I'm not sure. But I have definitely another one, not success. I do have self-help as an audiobook. I got everything as one long ebook where all the classics are in there. Imagine that. And it's basically, first, he summarizes the insights of all 50 classics into a coherent sort of longer introduction, where he introduces you to the whole concept of, for instance, psychology or success, and the history of it, and how it developed, and how those books are part of that development, and how they majorly moved it forward, and why he chose those books from those authors and not other authors. And he also makes references to other books outside of it. Then he dives into each book, and first he summarizes the book in one sentence, the book in a sentence. Then he references a few other books that are similar to that book, that one can dive also into if one finds that book really good. And then, or a book that was often mentioned in the book was also listed under there. And then he goes into a summary of the book with all the key insights also written out. So you get all the key insights of the book, and then he dives into a summary of the author's life and why he wrote the book, and when he wrote the book, and what other books he wrote. So you truly understand also the context of when the book was written. And by reading that, you find completely new insights and great books that you can then talk about and also dive deeper into, and know that they are out there if you ever need them. And I like for instance, this book, how to have a beautiful mind, is a book that I only listened to the summary to from I think Psychology Classics. Exactly, that's it. Yeah, so read at least a book a week, ideally. Right now, I'm truly more than on track, because I'm listening to my audiobooks all the time and loving it, but and using all my net time just for listening to audiobooks. But yeah, you can do that. It's not as hard as it right now seems. And most, like, there is a study about how many books a leader reads a year. Leaders read books per year, and it's a 51, I think, or so. So basically, every week they are reading a book, and other people um, only, yeah, most CEOs read a book a week. There you can see it. So and other people mostly read like 2 to 3 books every um every year. Honestly, it's crazy. I had years like that. I'm not like 4 to 5 books per month. Leaders or readers? It's true. It's some like you can say success leaves clues, and one of the clues that freak that is in almost every great success story, or if you read autobiographies, you will find most of them read. There's one guy that says he doesn't read at all. He doesn't read books though, but he reads all the feedback from everyone about his company. And this person is Gary Vee, who wrote Crushing It and Crushing It, Crush It. Yes, I think really he wrote Crush It and Crushing It. It's true. Yeah. And Chap 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 Right Hook. All great books. Kind of recommend them. Understand, to explain, and use it. So after you read a book, it's not just about having that information in your head, but exploring it, then enjoying what you learned, actually putting it into practice, enjoying the benefits of what you learned, and then sharing your insights that you had from that book and from enjoying the insights from the book. Because the true enjoyment of at least a non-fiction book comes after the book is finished and you put that information into practice somehow. And then finally learning how to explain it well is a powerful way for you to learn it and actually understand it. It's called the Feynman method, after Richard Feynman, who was an amazing teacher. I actually looked earlier up the most charismatic people. He is on number 4 after Jesus Christ, John Lennon, Winston Churchill, and then comes Richard Feynman, who was an American theoretical physicist known for his work, and he is just a very charismatic ways of explaining physics. You can watch some of his videos; they are really fun and well to understand the deeper concepts of what builds life on a physical realm, whereby he also explains, of course, deeper physics, where it's not on the physical realm as we understand the physical realm. But yeah, he is new, fun to imagine. And he created this method of the Feynman method. And if you go onto YouTube, you will find the first video. If you type it in, this video explains it better than I could right now, and it's really good, so I just recommend you watch that. So, master studying for university with joy. That is just something I gotta learn, because I love learning on my own. I read books all the time. I love diving deep into them, and I just, oh my god, I love it. I enjoy it. But for me, it's really hard to study for university for joy if someone says I gotta do it. This is a problem that I am still solving, but problems are there for you. Otherwise, they would be called contra-blams, meaning pro is for you, and contra is against you. So they are problems. to bounce off of and get to an even higher level, and when you solve it. So that's the problem that I gotta solve right now, because otherwise I'm procrastinating too much. And to be honest, I do enjoy it when I'm in it. Sometimes, not all the time. Dive deeper into each topic and do more for each exercise than demanded. Oh, that's also part of university, I guess. But not just. It's also about being outstanding at this field. Meaning, if there is an exercise to do in the book, you actually do the exercise. I didn't do that for a long, long time. I'm getting better at it, but I'm still not doing it all the time. Especially when I'm just listening to it while riding to uni. I think, oh, I can do the exercise later because right now I'm on a bike, and then I forget about it because I'm already in the next chapter, or already have 3 exercises now to do, and then I'm overwhelmed. So what I do more and more is actually, when I should do an exercise, I pause it, and then I am sometimes just jump to another audiobook when I'm still riding my bike and have to be on time or somewhere. And then later on, when I want to re-listen or restart listening to it, I see, oh, I need to do the exercise. All right, let's sit down and do the exercise quickly. Yeah, and ideally you would be more than demanded to get to your highest vision. Finally, create a YouTube channel and explain all I know. Oh, what is this right now? Maybe for me a way to use the Feynman technique to express what I learned in each area and dive deep into everything, and have a platform to strengthen my intellectual abilities. Oh my god, how meta. That is crazy. Practice your idea and problem solving muscle. Oh, I love that. I don't do it every day, but I love doing it, and I did it for a while every day. And it is basically a method from this guy who writes the most amazing Quora answers, and also a really fun guy. Great guy to follow. I think he also wrote a few books. James Altucher. He writes the most amazing blogs and Quora answers. And there's also this idea of the ultimate guide for becoming an idea machine, which basically says write 10 ideas a day, and he gives you all the reasonings why to do it. But you can also do the same thing with solving 10 problems a day, which is basically writing 10 ideas for 10 problems and then actually solving those problems, which would be double the thing. Or you can use websites. There are certain websites that can give you problems to solve, and then you can just practice your problem solving muscle that way. Yeah. But I like to solve my own problems that I give myself more. I said 1 problem a day. So that's much easier. Yeah, that's what I actually like. 10 ideas a day and 1 problem a day is good, because it's okay to come up with 10 ideas, and that can actually change your life. You can come up with 10 ideas to improve how Mind Valley markets their courses, which is or how like everything, and then write them down, and then just send it to them without expecting anything in return. And sometimes, if they like one of the ideas, they're like, "Oh my god, that sounds good!" And that way, also James Altucher got a job one day. So, go read his post about it, or watch one of his videos about it, or read a Quora answer about it. Then dive deeper into each topic. Well, I already were there. Reflect every evening, month, and year. So one of the tools I use for reflecting on my day is a journal. There is the 5-minute journal. Then there is this journal, the morning mastery, or the morning body journal from Habit Nest. Just go to the website Habit Nest and look it up. It's a really great book. I actually gifted another one of those to one of my friends that also was on the on this channel earlier, Rolo. If you want to watch it, go on my channel and watch it. Yeah, to reflect. And that is important because that way you can create new principles for your life, and also you can, yeah, that's really the main thing, but it's about getting aware of why you went down and up and why you did the things you do, and get to know yourself better and Temet Noske more and more, you know? And finally, start coaching people and solve their problems and teach yourself to solve their problems. That is particularly for me important. Okay, now let's dive into your life and let's dive into this worksheet. If you haven't downloaded it already, you will find it in the description of the video. You just go into the video, scroll down, click on show more, and there you go. Link to resources, and here you got number, not love life, not social life, not character, but here, this one. And you just download it, and then you got this paper in front of you. Alright, do that now while I take a sip. I hope you're done. Now, put your cursor into the first field. How is your intellectual life right now? How is your ability to focus, to do deep work, to do the skills that you want to learn? How is your ability to think and solve problems right now? You can start with just rating it from a scale from 1 to 10, for instance, and then you can describe it more and more closely. Alright? Do you feel ready? I know you don't. It's okay. Just do it anyways. Maybe you feel ready. That's awesome. I will give you 2 minutes. 3, 2, 1. You don't have to be perfect. You got this. Go. Alright. While we are doing this, I will see if I can put up some good old focus music without copyright. Time is clicking. Alright, I hope this works. Test. Thirty more seconds. Alright. Congratulations. You now finished the first exercise, and we will just keep going. But before you do that, ask yourself, hey, honestly, in your gut, how do you feel about it? Where you are right now? If I'm honest with myself, I don't fully feel good about it. I feel like I feel really great about my ability to, and my joy in learning and my curiosity. What I don't, and maybe also my ability to stay curious while doing long takes of learning on my own, on the things that I choose for myself. But I feel like I can majorly improve my retention rate, my ability to act on my ideas, and or the things I learned, and my ability to. I am great at solving problems also, but I have to learn to act on those solutions more, and my ability to retain factual information, particularly names and numbers. Names and numbers could be majorly improved, and I feel about it. Yeah, a little judgmental of myself, a little. You should be better right now. You have learned so much how to do it. Go fucking do it. And what I have to do right now, and what you can join me in, is it's okay where you are right now, Momo. Yes, all of that is true, and I love that it's true, because from this base, from this moment on, because you see yourself as you are and you love it, you can grow and build on a good foundation. Everything should be the way it is right now. It's okay. Let's freaking keep going. Get to a point where you sync it with your blueprint. Your blueprint is how life should be right now. Okay. And truly, the thing that you do there is let go and forgive your seemingly imperfections that you used to feel like you have. Forgive yourself for them. It's okay. That's why there is the joy of learning and the joy of growing. Otherwise, that wouldn't be there if you you couldn't enjoy that if you already had everything. It's alright. It's supposed to be the way it is. That's why you're doing this exercise right now. What do you believe about this category right now? Your intellect is. Just write it down. And what I mean by that is what I'm asking here is what brought you to this point right now? I will also give you 2 minutes. What brought you to this very moment in your intellectual life? Did you think maybe I don't like learning or I don't like reading books because you had to read books in school, and then you associated reading with school and with what you had to read in school, and then you started disliking it, and you started disliking learning. Or I'm not good at remembering names. That would be something that I believe about this category right now, for instance. I'm not good at remembering names and numbers. I even have that unconscious belief that brought me to this moment. I can't remember names and numbers. I can remember concepts. Maybe it's like even making me feel better about myself. It's probably my ego saying, oh, I'm good at understanding the bigger concepts. I don't get lost in those small details. They don't matter anyways. Why care for names? And like those are beliefs in me that I have to figure out how to let go of and to actually tap into my highest vision of this category. Okay? Let's do that. 2 more minutes. Go. I'll even put on some music for you guys. Thirty more seconds. Boom, done. Alright. I realized I was even being distracted for a moment, checking if someone saw my Facebook post and maybe is watching. And I saw someone commented on it, I think. Someone commented at my link. Alright. So this one is something I learned today, actually. It's someone who figured out what the levels of transformation is, meaning in each category he put it into it's from Julian Blanc and his program. Oh wait, so sorry, I had still my loud audio on. So this is from a program from Julian Blanc called Transformation Mastery. And in there, he talks about how we have different stages of development. Meaning, if you are in apathy, you have to, like the next, you shouldn't just jump instantly into courage or even love motivation, but you should go from one stage to the next stage, always from one level to the next level. And I would say that this concept or this idea could also be transferred to each area of your life, meaning you can look, where are you in this category in your life? Are you apathetic about your intellectual life, meaning blasé, you don't care, it doesn't really matter? Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to. Meaning, there, it would be actually good to tell that person, hey man, it's not your fault, it's the freaking government or the schools or whatever that held your ability to learn back. And for that person, it would be good to give them something to blame and to be and also to potentially tell them they are they to get them into a state where they feel like a loser. That would be actually growth for them, meaning they will maybe feel worse, and they will feel like not a loser, someone that can't change, and like a victim. For them, it would actually be good to feel like a victim. It would be good advice to make them feel like a victim. That's the crazy thing, because it's actually a level up, because they're not apathetic about this category. They're a victim of others, that their intellectual life is like that. And it's okay to feel like a victim. And then, when you are at that stage, you can tell them, you can actually get them into fear. And from that level, when you let go of the victimhood, you can tell them, hey, man, it's not the schools, it's not the university, you are in charge of your life, man. You are not a victim, you're a loser. This is the next stage, you see? You forked your own life up. And then you take responsibility and you step into fear and you're like, oh, but I can't do it. But this is a step up from feeling like a victim, because now you realize it's your responsibility, even though you're not doing anything still, but you're in fear. And now you can get into anger, where you're like, fuck being a loser, I won't allow this, it's enough, let's go. That was me for a while. I was just angry at myself, so that's when I took action. And then from there, hey man, let's go. Like, you can step up again and go into courage and say, okay, like, yes, you're angry at yourself, but you don't have to judge yourself. The truth is, feel that fear. It's okay to feel fear. It's okay to and so on, but you do it anyway. And you don't have to be, like, you can tap above that anger. You don't have to be angry at yourself all the time to get yourself into action. You can act without anger at yourself. You just feel the fear and do it. That's when you act from courage, and then you can act from desire and purpose and love. But you don't tell someone that is apathetic, hey, just be moved by love towards what is true, or just go and connect with your deepest purpose and find that, you see? And think about where you are also on this scale in the intellectual life. Are you apathetic about it? Do you feel like a victim? Do you feel in fear and can't take action because you realize you have to change, but you can't? You think you can't? Do you feel angry at yourself already? That's awesome. That's better than feeling fearful. But yeah, so sometimes you actually it's better to feel worse, and you're growing. Like, that's so weird, and it's not just like better feeling. Make sense? That's something really powerful, I feel like. All right, let's go next one. What is your highest vision for this category? This is the one you were waiting for. This is the one where you can live out your dreams in your future projection, something beautiful that your mind can do. What is your highest vision? Imagine yourself having mastered your intellect, having mastered your mind, your ability to solve problems, having mastered that beautiful brain of yours and connected it maybe even with your heart. What would be your highest vision for this category of your life? How knowledgeable are you? How well can you use that knowledge? Let's dive into it. Have fun writing it. I'll give you actually 3 minutes because it's important. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, congratulations. Now we are diving into what do you need to believe to create this highest vision. Now, same thing we do every night. Time to take over the world. Same thing as yesterday or in every category. Step again into your highest vision. Stay in that vibration you're in right now. And imagine you are there. You are living it. What do you believe when you are already there? Then I would definitely believe, oh, I am a master at remembering names. Then I would definitely believe my brain is malleable and I can shape my intellect. I can change how creative I am. I can change how well I can think mathematically. I would have to believe that in order to create my highest vision. Make sense? That I can change all of this. Alright, I'll give you... Oh, let's do a speed round. 1 minute 30. You got this. 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? Go. See if I can find any better music. A little bit. Text while working isn't good. I'm using, by the way, these classes in order to prevent the blue light from the screen to block my melanin production that stops me being able to sleep well. And because I'm going after this video, I'm going... Oh. Sorry. After this video, I'm going to bed. So that's why I have to use those blue light blocking classes in order to see that my melanin production is started right now while doing this video. Um, well, congrats. And now we only gotta do the last and a truly important step. Find your way. Use your intellect. Right now is your time to prove yourself. To prove to yourself that you can solve the problem of how to create your highest vision. And the more you do this, the more you do these exercises, the easier these plans will become for you to find the action steps, the big steps you need to take. Those could be implementing rules, implementing principles, implementing or creating habits that make you another person. Who do you need to become? What habits would that person have? Okay? And now find what are the big steps in order to get where you need to go. Do you feel ready? I know you do. And if you don't, step into your courage and do it anyway. Or if you're not there yet, step into your anger and do it, because it's your fault if you don't. So god damn it. Much love. Are you ready? I will give you 3 minutes for this one. No, I will give you 3 minutes 30 because I am such a great guy and this is your last exercise and it's super important. You got this. 3, 2, 1, go! And I will find better music. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Good enough. Congratulations. Now, you did it! Woo! You created your own category and you wrote the rough plan for it. And you know your highest vision, and isn't that exciting? Now we can dive into deep knowledge about this category and um, I honestly feel like I talked about a lot of books while also starting this. Of course, you can dive into, for instance, problem solving on Wikipedia and go into a deep dive what problem uh, solving means. Definitely the different biases and mental processes. Oh, there is. There, I do have a lot of recommendations, but what I will do is later on create more and more videos about different about every area and dive deeper into, for instance, in the intellectual area, into different sub skills and meta skills. And um, wait, where is this video? This book. Mental models. That's what this book was called. It's also great to have mental models for solving problems. By the way, one guy whose YouTube video you should watch is definitely Sam Ovens. I'm pretty sure he also talks about mental models. Yeah, on how to make decisions, which is basically how to solve problems. But yeah, absolutely recommend watching Sam Ovens videos on solving problems and so on, and then like second order consequences and so on, as well as going into Sam Harris's mental models. I think it's from Sam Harris, if I'm not correct. He also wrote the book Making Sense, as well as one that I am also listening to currently, which is a great one, which is called Waking Up, which combines scientific knowledge with spiritual knowledge and how they align with each other more and more, and the value of these deep practices of sensory deprivation and so on, which for me makes total sense. Mental sense, mental models. Who was this book written by? I got it on my phone. Yeah, you can also dive deep onto Wikipedia. You can learn so much there. There is also wiki courses if you want to actually have it more in order. So you like on Wikiversity, so you can understand it and there go into problem solving and so on. Yeah, that's a pretty great page as well as all the other resources you can find out there. You now know what your highest vision is, and I want you to get from maybe wherever you are right there. I want you to get at least into courage and go through your anger at yourself. It's okay. Go through that. But then let go. The cool thing is to get from each stage to the next, it's always about letting go. Letting go of apathy to get into victimhood and grief. Letting go of grief to get into fear and feeling like a like a like a fearful being, and then getting from there into anger. Oopsie. Well, what is this? Yeah, whatever. Um, and then letting go of that and diving into your anger on of yourself. Like let go of that fear and being paralyzed and actually become angry, because angry is an active energy. It's higher than fear, interestingly. And from there you get into courage, where you do it anyways. You do it. And I want you to get to that place at least. Then you can from there you will much more easily access the higher states. So I want you to get at least to this stage so you can implement your own plans, because yeah, that's really powerful. All right. Let's end the video there. I feel like we did a lot of progress today in the structure of these videos, and it's much better structured this way. So, see you tomorrow with the next video. Maybe we'll dive deeper into intellectual life, into the mental models, or into another category. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Explore, enjoy, share. Boo. Freaking yeah.